First one I study guide here is one where we're going to have to complete the square. So I'm going to start by grouping my x's and y's together. So I get 9x squared minus 36x, and then minus, I leave a little bit of a gap here, minus 4y squared minus 8y, and then I'm going to take this, take this 4 and move it over to the other side of the equation. So I get equals a 4 on the right hand side. So from here I need to factor out the 9 and the 4 from each of these sets of terms. So I get 9 open parentheses x squared, and then I'm going to get an x term. Need to ask myself what times 9, if I were to multiply in by whatever I'm going to put right here, give me negative 36. So I need to have a minus 4x there. I'm going to close parentheses. I'm going to leave a gap for myself to complete the square in there. And then I'm going to go minus 4 times y squared. So I'm just pulling out this guy. And what do I need to put for my y term? Well, I need, if I have a positive 2 there, so plus 2y, then that, when I multiply the 4 in, gives me my negative 8y back. So, close parentheses equals 4. So, I'm going to write over this graph for a moment, and then I'll erase it. But, actually, yeah, whatever. So, I also need to fill in that spot there. So, I need to complete the square on the 4. On the 4x, I add 4. Now, this was 9, that was 4, so I didn't add 4 to this side. What I really did was added 4 times 9, so plus 4 times 9. And then I look at this guy. I've got a minus 4. I complete the square here with a 1, so I'll write that in, plus 1. And that was not adding 1 to that side. Instead, I did 1 times negative 4, so I subtracted 4. So now I need to go and re-add 4 in. So, or sorry, I need to not re-add 4 in, but since I subtracted 4 here, I also need to subtract 4 on this side. So, minus 4. Now I'm going to collect my terms and complete the square all at the same time. So I get 9 times x minus 2 squared. And that's this whole term right here. It factors down to x minus 2 squared. And then minus 4 times y plus 1 squared. And then when I collect my terms on my right hand side, I've got a positive 4, negative 4. They cancel each other out, leaves me with that 36. So now I need to have a 1 on that right hand side. You should see at this point that we have a hyperbola. So in order to get a 1 in replacement of that 36, I got to divide both sides by 36. And I'm just going to do that for each term. Now the 36 here, I get 9 and I divide it into the 36, and that gives me 4. So I'm going to get a x minus 2 squared over 4. The 4 comes again from dividing the 9 into the 36. Same thing here. I'm going to divide 4 into 36. I'm going to keep my minus sign. So I get minus y plus 1 squared over 9 is equal to 1. So now that I have it in that form, well, doesn't matter too much how we choose our A and our B, as long as we know the difference between a happy sat or a power plant. So, my A comes from the square root of 4, so it's 2. My B comes from the square root of 9, so B is equal to 3. And then I use our formula. which says c squared equals a squared plus b squared for this thing, to say, well, c squared equals, make that an arrow, c squared equals 4 plus 9, which gives me c equal to root 13. So, from here, I look and I identify my center to start, right? So now that I have A, B, and C, so maybe I'll got that, got that, got that. Now I can use all these for all the different parts. So my parts, the first part that I want to get to is that the center is at 2, negative 1. You should be pretty good at finding that. Just take the opposite of this value and the opposite of that value. I'm going to go ahead and graph that. So that spot's graphed there. Now what I'm going to do is build my box. And we've talked about doing this in class quite a bit. We've done it quite a bit. I'm going to kind of build a dotted box like this to put my asymptotes around it. Now remember, so I'm going to actually do it over here because I got a little bit more space and it's a little bit easier. I'm going to go left and right. If this is my center, so that's my 2, negative 1. So that's this point. I'm going to go left and right this value because that's the one that's paired with the x. So I'm going to go left 2 and right 2. And then I'm going to go up and down my b value. So I'll go up and down 3. I'm going to construct my box. There's my best attempt at that box on the iPad. So now I'm going to go, and go through my diagonals as well as possible. And that now tells me where my asymptotes are. So my vertices are actually, so this is a what we've called a power plant. Looks like a cooling tower in a power plant. And I know that because my x squared is first right there. It's positive. And that has a transverse axis that goes with the x. Anyway, so let me draw that in. So a couple things popped up there for you. The graph showed up there in red. You should see that it goes like this. I've got a dot there, and this side has a dot there. So this dot right here is at 0, negative 1, and I'm writing that because we can't really see it super well here, but if you can be super clear on your actual paper, then you don't have to write this out. Same thing with this guy. I'm going to list it out like that because it's kind of not the easiest thing to tell in this video where that spot goes. Now the last thing I have to do is figure out where my vertex or where my foci go. So you should see here that this is root 13. Well, I know that root 13 is between 3 and 4. Right? Is that right? Yeah, it's between 3 and 4. It's like 3.5-ish or something like that. So that means that 3 units out, or 3.5-ish units, approximately, that way and that way, are my foci. So I'm going to go, let's see, that would be right here. I'm going to label that F. And then right here and label that F. And in order to make sure that I get full credit for that, it is left and right, so it is 2 plus or minus the root 13, and then they both have a height of negative 1. So this is kind of like the coordinates listed out, and the only one that you would actually have to do if your dots are looking good is this one, because that one, I can't show root 13 on a grid. It just doesn't work. I only have whole numbers. So there you go. That's that.